Okay, if you saw my last video where I went through my storage shed, I kind of explained that my goal until the end of this year is to sell my old stuff, sell all my old shit that hasn't been selling for years. And one of the things I wanted to do was go through each week and pick items that I am just gonna try and see how I can sell them as quickly as possible because they're just old, they need to go in some way, shape, or form. So today's video, I've got 10 items of why haven't these sold. I kind of dig into them a little bit, and I'm gonna make some changes to hopefully sell them quicker. And at the end of this video, I'll also give a little personal update on my house, selling my house, where I'm currently at with that. I know some of you guys are interested, and I used to film there all the time. And then I'll also do a quick baby update. So I've got 10 items here. I quickly went through them. One thing I'm gonna try with these 10 items that I honestly have been very against doing is using stock photos as my main photo. Now on eBay, you can get in a little bit of trouble, but I don't know if anyone's ever gotten in trouble with Poshmark and using stock photos. Leave a comment below if you've gotten in any trouble with Poshmark, but I haven't heard of any. So I've been against it because I think my past marketing life jobs, it was so not okay to use someone else's work and claim it as your own. And so when I became a reseller, I just had that ingrained. I would never use a stock photo. Every once in a while, I would put it as my second or third photo. But a lot of times I just didn't use stock photos. And I have wondered over the years of if that has impacted my sales negatively because most resellers use stock photos as their main photos if they can find them. So that is one thing I'm gonna try with all of these is adding stock photos because all of these I can find stock photos. So first off, I'm gonna start with a dress that I've had listed for over 3 years. It's a Lovers and Friends dress. It's the Naomi dress, and it's kind of a gown, but it's a black dress and it's terrible. I couldn't fit it on my mannequin, so it's just hanging on a hanger. And I will pop up some pictures so you can see what it's like as a stock photo versus my photo. And I'm sure you can see that my photo is just, it doesn't show any of the features. And so unless someone's specifically searching for the Naomi dress in a size 2, which is what it is, they wouldn't be able to see, this is definitely a perfect example of where a stock photo or a modeled photo would come in handy with this black dress just because of the slits, the cut of it, etc. I originally started this at $99. It is new with tags. I don't think I found the retail price on this, but I currently have it listed on Poshmark for $31 and it's still not moving. So the main change I'm gonna make with this is changing the stock photo. I might raise the price just a little bit to like $39 or $49, because that's kind of comparable. Some of these have sold recently for, $50, $60. So I don't think my price is terrible. I think it's really just that photo. So that's the first one. That's the change I'm gonna make. And again, I might only do the stock photos on Poshmark because I have heard of people getting in trouble for them on eBay. Or maybe I will do it on, I don't know. We'll see about eBay, but most of these changes are gonna be on Poshmark. So the second item is an Alice and Olivia dress. This one, I just checked comps again. Many of them have sold for over 100 to 150. And I currently have it listed for $102, so I'm very reasonably priced. This dress is cute, it's fun. It also has a great stock photo that kind of shows the kind of flare at the bottom. It's a size large, which is awesome, but it's been listed 2 years. And I actually think my photo is really great in this. It's on the mannequin. It looks great. The colors pop, but it's got this burnout velvet look to it. But it's had interest, but it's just not selling. So this one, again, I will try the stock photo because the majority of good solds, they did have the stock photos as their main photo on Poshmark. So there's not much I can do. I've got the style name, which is, I think it's called the Prisma. I've got, like I said, I think good photos on this one. Again, you guys can leave me your comments down below of if you guys have any other thoughts on my current listing, but I think it's a good listing and I'm surprised this one hasn't sold because the comps are still really great for this dress. So I think I'm going to add the stock photo as the main photo and then maybe raise the price to 120, 124, something around there, and see if maybe I can get some bites that way. But all right, number 3 is a Free People romper. Now I have had this listed for 5 years and I bought, I think 2 of these or 3 of them. I don't know how many I have. I think I've got 2 of them at least. And I bought them as a retail arbitrage attempt when I was still in kind of my early days of reselling. And it was a bad buy, to be honest. I don't know how much I paid for it at like TJ Maxx or Marshall's. And it is currently listed at $18. I originally started it at $54. It retails for $108. This was back in the day before I realized that Free People really is a tough mover unless it's a very specific piece that is highly desirable. You know, it's an oversaturated brand, as we all know. But this is a new with tags, size extra small, and I have it currently listed at $18 and I still can't move it. Again, I went to check comps. There are quite a few comps from 15 to 25. So it is priced appropriately right now, but this is another one where maybe I just need the stock photo. It looks a little frumpy how I have it. It's also photos that I took 5 years ago. And I don't want to retake photos on a lot of these things and go get them out of inventory and do all of that. So again, going to try a stock photo, put the price at 24, see if I can move it and just get my money back. But man, that was a bad buy. And every time I see it pop up in my feed, I'm just like, I should not have bought that. And it's one of the reasons I did not like retail arbitrage. I think it's a really tough business and some people do really great at it. And I am not one of those people that enjoys it or had much success with it. Full transparency. Okay, just a quick pause for the sponsor of today's video, which is Upside. You guys know I love Upside. It is a free app that you can download to get cash back. And if you want to support this channel for absolutely no cost to you, you can give this a shot. There's absolutely no harm in trying it out. And I've been using this app for a few years. You guys have heard me talk about them nonstop, and I love it. I love it because when I need to fill up my tank, I just find a nearby gas station that's going to give me some cash back. Sometimes I get some snacks that also give me cash back in the gas station. Today, I found a gas station because I need to get gas. I found a gas station near me that has a discount on car washes, and my car has not been washed in, I don't know, before my baby was born. And she's 4 months old. Anyways, it's 40% off of my car wash today, or cash back, and I'm just thrilled. So I'm gonna get gas, I'm gonna get a car wash, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about Upside in case you haven't heard me talk about them. It is fall and it's busy around here. We have a baby that's 4 months old. She is getting out and about, and the weather's cooling down, and I'm filling up more and we're eating out more. And I just love this app so much because I am building my little cashback account up so I can use it for something fun. Maybe a getaway for myself, maybe a getaway for me and the family. But it is real cashback. And I've talked about this before, but you can use it at so many places, gas stations, eating out. I'll pop up on the screen a number of places you can use it, and way more than just what's on the screen. But it's just so insanely easy. And I just, I'm excited to tell you guys about it because it's just a way for you to get some cash back as well, and also support this channel if you want to try it out. And just so you know, Upside recently hit the $1 billion mark of cash back that they gave back to their users, which is insane to me. Top Upside users could earn up to $300 a month. I don't get that much per month, but it's possible. And I just, honestly, it brings me joy every time I use it because I know I'm going to be able to get that cash when I need it, either through real cash deposited in my bank account or even through gift cards as well. Okay, I'm just going to quickly show you exactly how I use the app. I open it up on my phone and immediately it searches around me, and I just go to choose one of the local gas stations if that's what I'm looking for. I hit the blue claim button. I can even get directions directly there, and I have a card linked so that they know how to find my purchase. And I just pump gas like normal. There's nothing weird about it. Top Upside earners are making as much as $300 a month. To find out how much you could earn, click the link in the description to download Upside and use code COMMONTAGS to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas, or scan the QR code here to claim this offer. And in less than 24 hours, I got my email confirmations showing me what I earned for both pumping, filling up my gas tank, and also getting a car wash. So big thank you to Upside for sponsoring another video. Let's get back to the thrifted items I'm trying to get rid of. All right, number 4 is a sweater that is also new with tags. Ironically, most of these, or at least 3 out of the last 4 have been new with tags. That's not the case with the whole list, but This one I thrifted, new with tags. It has only been listed a year, which is still a long time, but short compared to 5 years with the previous item. It retailed for $320. Now, we all know retail price does not mean anything with the value on the resale market, on the secondhand market, but it is still interesting to see a sweater that's cashmere that retailed for over $300, that is new with tags, that's a size large. It's a great size. It's a beautiful sweater. I actually tried it on in a video. It's soft. It's great. It's a great basic. But Vince is not the best seller for me. And I started this at $124. It's currently listed at $99. I did find yesterday that I'm missing the style name, which is shirt tail. So I'm going to add that. I'm going to add a stock photo, and I'm going to keep, I'm probably going to lower the price on this one. I didn't pay much for it. I probably paid, $8 or $9, just regular, kind of sweater price at my local Goodwills. So I'm probably going to drop the price to maybe $74, add the stock photo, add the shirt tail in the description in case someone is searching for that, and see if that gets anything. Now, we are going into a better season for sweaters, so we'll see. We'll see if that turns anything up. Honestly, it's a sweater that's just kind of basic, so maybe that's why it hasn't gotten much action. But all right, number 5 is a frame blazer. Frame is not a brand that I typically pick up anymore, but it is still a brand that retails fairly high. This has been listed for 2 years, and it's a cute spring jacket, I would categorize. It's got the yellow striped, it's linen. Now this one has some pretty cute stock photos. So again, this is one where I think it's a good option to add a stock photo as the main one. It is a size 4, but I did find some comps recently that are right around my listing price my current listing price is $34. I originally started it 2 years ago at $69. Obviously I've done some price drops on all of these. So it retailed for $358. I just think seeing it styled with the jeans, I think it's jeans on the stock photo, and just how cute it looks might be something that will grab someone's attention as opposed to just it being on the mannequin. And I know that like yellow is kind of one of those colors. I really love yellow. A lot of people don't like yellow. It's just one of those colors that's kind of love or hate, I feel like. So we'll see. I'm going to probably keep the price as is, $34, add the stock photo, and see if I can move it that way. So, all right, number 6 is a rag and bone jacket. This I actually bought from another reseller who was doing a sale. I follow her on Instagram. She was getting out of the resale market and was doing some bundles. And she had this list pretty high. It's rag and bone, so not the best brand on the resale market for me specifically, but this had lamb leather in it. Plus, I love camo. I feel like that's just always kind of an in and out trendy type of thing. It's a size medium, so not a bad size, but I have had it listed for 3 years. It's currently listed for $31. Mind you, this retailed for over $500. So really banging deal on the resale market for some of these brands. I can't believe some people pay retail for rag and bone or some of these brands. It's crazy, but I started it 3 years ago at $79. It's currently at $31. This is another one that there are some stock photos. This stock photo wasn't the best. Like it didn't really grab my attention, but I'm going to try it, make that the main photo. I'm probably going to raise the price to $39, just make it, because sometimes I feel like if you have something that's too low priced, people will think there's a flaw. And so I'm going to bring it up to $39. Change the stock photo and see if I can move it this fall, because I feel like it is a good fall jacket. All right, number 7 is a Free People sweater. This is a sweater. I don't know. I'm guessing I got this at the bins. I'm thinking it is a heavier sweater, so I'm sure I paid probably $4 or $5 at the bins, which is pretty steep for there. It is a size large, and the stock photo looks great, or it looks a lot more fun on the stock photo versus me putting it on the mannequin, just because the little puffed out sleeves really accentuate or are accentuated in the stock photo versus my photos. It's just kind of a sweatshirt. It's a pretty cute style for the Free People lover, the oversized look and that kind of stuff. But it's been listed a year for me. I started it at $39. I currently have it listed for $23. It only retailed for $78. And again, it's Free People. But I did have stock photos on this one. They were just my second and third photo. So I'm going to move the stock photo to the main photo, probably price it keep it the same. I just want to move it. This isn't something where I feel like I'm going to make a lot of money, but it's taking up space in inventory, and I would prefer to move it. So we'll see on that one. Number 8 is a brand that I got so excited to find in my early days because there was this dress that Meghan Markle wore and a couple celebrities wore, and I can't remember the actress that it was named after, but it was a style, and I sold a couple of them for like $100 or somewhere around there. And Black Halo is the brand. It's an LA-based brand that's pretty expensive retail. And so I would find it occasionally, not in that exact dress. So this is the Jagger dress. And I'm pretty sure I got this at the bins. I've had it listed for 5 years. And it retails for over $400. And I started it at $69. So a pretty reasonable amount. I currently have it listed for $18. But this is one that the stock photo really will make a huge difference because there's this lace accent on the back, and the stock photo, some of them have like the front and the back in one photo. And on my photo, you can clearly see that like it doesn't show any of the accent. It's a terrible photo. So I know why this one hasn't sold, and I really do think the stock photo will help this one sell. Now, this is not a brand I pick up much anymore because I've learned that it doesn't move for me except that one specific dress. So I'm just at this point trying to recoup my money. So I'm probably going to raise the price to, $29, $39, somewhere around there, and use the stock photo and see if I can move it that way. Again, I know it seems counterintuitive to raise the price, but when people see super low prices, they sometimes get suspicious. I do. And I know there's other people like that as well. All right, number 9 is a brand called, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Marmar maybe. And then it was an Anthropologie collab. So this was a plus size blazer, kind of a relaxed fit, oversized blazer, really nice blush, mauve, pink color. I thought this was the perfect kind of spring, summer kind of blazer that you could throw over things. And it's been listed only for 9 months, which is not very long for this list of items. I started it at $59 and it retails for $148. I did have the stock photo as the second photo on this, but again, someone would have to click on my photos to see that. Now, my photos aren't terrible for this. It's on the mannequin, but the mannequin is a size 6, not a 2X. So I do think that, that does affect people, the visual. So I think with this one, again, I'm going to try putting the stock photo as the main photo. It is still currently listed at $59, so I'm going to bring down the price and see if I can move it that way. This one did have quite a few likers, so I know people were seeing it, but it was either too high priced or, yeah, we'll see. But I think I'm going to bring down the price to $39 or $49. I'll have to run comps again and change that stock photo, see if that makes a difference. And then the last one on this list is a pair of sandals that are some Huaracha kind of style sandals. I found these, I think, at the bins, and they were in good shape. They didn't have a lot of foot marks in them, I'm pretty sure. They were a decent size 7, and the brand was Palapa. Unfortunately, I just don't think this brand is common, and so I don't think people are searching for it. Now, these do retail for $169. They are well made. It is, a nice shoe, but there's just no one searching for it. So I started them at $79. I thought, there's not much on the market. This will be a good sale. And I currently have them listed at $36 with still no bites. Now, I do have a lot of likers on them, but no one has sent an offer. And now this stock photo doesn't feature the shoe too much. I think it's kind of an odd stock photo. If I recall, she's kind of bending down, and I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to try the stock photo, see if that does anything. And I'm probably just going to drop the price because I just want to move them. I don't really pick up shoes much anymore, and I don't want to store a whole bunch of shoes. And so I might just bring down the price to $29. And if someone can snatch these for $20, I don't really make much of a profit, maybe a few dollars, but at least I can get them out, and I just consider it probably not the best buy on my part. So those are my 10 items that I'm going to work on this week to see if I can move them, and also just test to see if stock photos make a difference. I will relist all of these to kind of clear out these haven't been listed in a while, so hopefully kind of refresh that on Poshmark. But it is what it is. This is part of what I'm going to do the rest of the year, is just sort through my inventory and either donate some old stuff or try and sell them. And this is my first attempt at trying some stock photos to see if that makes a difference. But leave me your thoughts below on any of this. So moving into house update. So currently today when I'm filming, so I listed my house about 5 or 6 weeks ago. It's currently an Airbnb. You guys, many of you know that. I moved out of there a year ago. And so I haven't lived there, but I thought when I was getting ready to list it last fall, I thought the photos turned out so great. It's already furnished. I'm not going to keep a lot of this furniture. Maybe I can try the Airbnb thing. And I did. And while there have been some fun people that have stayed there and they've really appreciated staying there and they loved it, there have also been some terrible guests that have stayed there and some terrible experiences that I've had with Airbnb not being supportive to me as a host. And people damage stuff left and right. I have to, restock it with stuff all the time. I pay a housekeeper, which she's great. She's been great to work with. But I'm not making any profit off of this. By paying my mortgage, which has gone up with fire insurance. I'm sure you guys know fire insurance in California keeps going up year after year. If you don't know, now you know. And it's in a high fire risk area. So between my mortgage and paying for the supplies to keep it up, paying for damaged items left and right, it's just small stuff like, $10 here, $20 there, but it adds up. Paying for all of the utility bills, the internet, the gas, the electricity, all of that stuff. I have on certain months made some profit, but not enough that's worth the effort, because there's a lot of communication with these guests back and forth. And there's problems that come up. I've had to pay plumbers because people don't know how to deal with a sink that doesn't have a garbage disposal. It's been expensive, and I love that house so much. And I think ultimately when I moved in here, I just wasn't ready to let it go. But, I know I shared this in a video and I was emotional because it's hard. It's hard when you work really hard for something and it's amazing. And I'm happy with the changes in my life, but that was such a proud thing, having bought it and then done so much to it to improve it. And I honestly, before I met Robert, thought I was just going to die there. Like I thought that was where my sanctuary was, so all those improvements I thought were for me. And so to sell it when I still had things that I wanted to do to it is just, it's a big decision, but I'm much better now with that decision because I've now spent the last year dealing with people in my space, and it's just been a huge hassle more than anything. And I also just wanted to go to the next buyer who I feel like will potentially make it better. So all of that said, I've shared that in the past. I listed it knowing that the roof needed to be replaced and knowing that one support beam needed to be replaced. And I was giving a seller credit to replace the beam and giving them a roof certification. If all of this is foreign to you because you've never purchased a home, it's basically me acknowledging that there's a roof problem, me hoping that the buyer might want to buy it and then pick the roof material, pick the roof color that they want, and do it with the contractors that they want to work with. But as I know as an agent, a lot of buyers don't want to go buy a house with work. And so I had some early interest from a couple buyers, but they really didn't want to put a roof on. One of them was a cash buyer that stayed at the Airbnb, and this was 5 weeks ago. And they lived down in LA, fun couple. I respected that they had an agent and only communicated via Airbnb about hosting them, not about real estate stuff. And I still was in communication with their agent. And they had a great stay. They loved it, but really were nervous being first-time home buyers with a roof problem. So I decided to pull the listing, and I decided, I'm going to pay the money to get the beam fixed, the roof replaced, and relist it, and hopefully relist it for a little bit higher, not recoup all my money, but at least have hopefully more interest, because it would be a brand new roof with a 40-year warranty. The beam would not be an issue, so it would be open to anyone with any loan. And that was my strategy. So I did that. And if you've ever worked with contractors, a roofing contractor, a beam framing contractor, a painter, a drywall guy, if you've ever had to work with that type of situation, it's a struggle. I was trying to manage all of this in between Airbnb guests, and it was a lot. I also have an escrow that I'm dealing with, and I also am trying to still get back into reselling, and I have a baby that I am the primary parent at home with her. So she takes up a lot of my time. And it was a lot of work, but I knew it just needed to be done. And I was hoping that the cash buyers would still be around. And in fact, they were. So when I relisted it earlier this week, they came right back. Their agent came right back and said, oh, they noticed that you relisted it and they're so excited. Can I just do a video to show them that the work has been done? And so they saw it. Well, last night I finally got their offer. And unfortunately, it's a little under my asking price. Now, I did list this house a little high for our market because it's a unique house. Now, I do have some comps that support my pricing, but it is higher than most of the comps of homes that are similar size. But a lot of homes in our area are nothing like, they don't have the view, they don't have the character that this house has. And I'm trying to look at it from an agent perspective and not be an emotional seller about it. But that's really hard to do when I paid $30,000 for a fencing around over an acre of the usable land. I paid for the tough shed. I had the house painted. I had all new plumbing for gas and water that I paid for. I installed a new AC system, the new roof now, all of that kind of stuff. So I've really put a lot into it over the years. And I just have to remove that feeling and go, it doesn't matter what I've put into it. It matters what the market value is now. It matters what someone is willing to pay now, which is actually complementary to reselling. We get so emotional about what we paid for something and we think that it should sell for this price instead of just recognizing that what is someone willing to pay for it and what is the competition out there. And right now, there isn't much competition for a house quite like that. At the same time, it's not a family style house because it's only a 2-bedroom. A lot of people don't necessarily want the loft because there's a ladder. So it is a minimal crowd that wants this house or would want this house. And so I understand all of that, but it is really hard to remove myself as the seller. It's just hard. And so anyways, I got an offer from them last night and finally got a written offer. I've done a lot of verbal conversations with their agent and they came in at my previous asking price, which, if you don't know, cash buyers are great because you don't have to deal with lenders. And lenders are just if you're a lender, I'm sorry, but it's an element of real estate transactions that adds more paperwork and more hassle. So cash buyers are great to have. However, I just spent the last few weeks getting all of this work done and spending all of this money. And, it's hard that they didn't just come in at full asking price. But I have another person who stayed at the Airbnb last week. Their agent has been in touch. Basically, there's 2 other agents that have been in touch. One that has stayed at the Airbnb and one that has not stayed at the Airbnb, but is very interested. So I have 3 very interested people, 1 written offer. And I'm just in this place right now where do I just move forward with the cash buyer and just get it off the market and just try and have as quick of an escrow as possible? Or do I wait for the other potential offers and, see if someone's willing to come in? And we're talking over $10,000, which is $10,000 is a lot of money. Mentally, it's not a lot of money in a real estate transaction. And if you take that $10,000, take a fraction of it that would be paid out in fees for a variety of things, we're probably talking, 8,000 to 9,000. And again, that's a lot of money, but is it worth just moving forward and not having to deal with a lender and over waiting for someone to offer me full asking price if they will? Because right now I only have the 1 written offer. So very long story to tell you, my house might be in escrow soon. And I'm relieved about that. And I do think it's a fun couple and I would love for them to make it even better than I could have. But I am just in that decision process right now of what's the right thing to do. So I'll keep you guys posted. And then the baby's great. She's 4 months old. She is doing so much better. I do most of my updates on my other channel, which is linked down below. It's the Midlife Momlife. So if you haven't heard me talk about that, I know every week I get a comment from someone going, I haven't watched your content in a couple years and I just realized you had a baby. Oh my gosh. So anyways, I know some people are overhearing about that and some people are still surprised by it every week. So But yes, if you are new or you are back to this channel after a couple years, I did in fact have a baby. She's 4 months old. Her name is Bryce, and she is great. But she did have a rough first couple months with some colic, a tongue tie issue. But we are doing great. We've made breastfeeding work through lots of effort, and that is very time consuming. I know many of you out there know how time consuming that is, but we're kind of getting in our groove, and she is starting to nap a little bit on her own, and I'm starting to just maybe get 1 to 2 hours each day to kind of get some work done. And we're doing a lot better than we were a couple months ago. So she's great. If before anyone comments, oh, we want to see her face, I don't share her face on even my personal social media. If she's older and she wants to make that decision on her own to be on social media, you know, that day will come. But that was just a decision I made. She is cute, and she looks like her father. She does not have my hair color, although it is lightening. It is getting like a more light brown. She was dark brown when she popped out. So it's lightening up, but I don't think it will be red. Might have some hints of red highlights, but I don't think it's going to be red, but who knows? Genetics is weird. Anyways, that is the update right now. I hope you enjoyed my little breakdown. I will keep you guys posted. My next few videos will be a lot of this because I'm really trying to focus on my current inventory and how can I move some of this stuff. So be sure to let me know if you like these breakdown videos, and hopefully I have some updates for you on if some of the stuff is selling based off of changes that I'm making. So be sure to subscribe if you aren't subscribed, hit the thumbs up if you liked this video and this update, and I will be back soon with another video. Bye.